I'm a 2D animator, and in this video, I'm going to be animating a stickman punch in 10 seconds, 1 minute, 10 minutes, 1 hour, and finally 10 hours. And as it is customary on this channel, it's the season of giving. So somewhere in the video, I'll be giving away Sticknuts Pro for completely free to 3 lucky winners. So stick around to find out how you can apply to be one of those 3 people. Alright, 10 seconds. Let's see what I can actually just... Fuck. Alright, take 2. Let's see if I can just try and manage to do something. Something here. Moving forward, adjust his legs. Let's just make him punch this shit. Punch this guy and yeah. Wow, that is the fastest 10 seconds I've ever experienced in my life. I mean, it doesn't look too horrible. I mean, you know, it's still on 10 FPS because I literally cannot go higher than this within this time frame, but I mean, it could be worse. It could be worse. Alright, 1 minute. I'm not gonna do too much because 1 minute is not like so long. I'm just gonna use this to adjust the footing of the character just so it makes a bit more sense. It's not as much as, like, you know, it's 10 seconds times 6. 1 minute is not a long time, and trying to do this while talking is really hard. It's a lot harder than it looks. Let's see if I can just try to... Whoops, way too far. Just gonna move him. There we go. See if I can adjust his back. Maybe bring his arm forward. Why did I give this base shoulders and hips, man? What's wrong with me? Let's see. All right, so he's going hits. Just gonna move him away because we don't really have the time to animate him doing something else. Let's see if we can move his head and his body down just as like a reaction to the punch, or like the thing that happens after the punch. Fuck, this is a lot harder than it looks. 1 minute is not a long time, guys. There's my timer. Wow. Alright, so 10 minutes. This time I probably don't have to rush, you know, because it's 10 minutes. I definitely want some dialogue, so I'm just gonna include that. Hey, the animation looks good. I mean, could be better if I could just increase the FPS. There we go. Let's make him swoop in from the top left. So it'd be like he jumped earlier, because we don't really have the time to animate like a full-fledged jump. If you've noticed, I've changed the base. I'm sorry, but those hips and shoulders were really making this hard. Rotate him so he's on the ground better. Actually, let's lift him up so it'd be like he bounced off the ground to emphasize the force. Add some rotation to that. Like that. Okay, maybe we can actually make him hit the wall. Do we have time for that? I'm using like the last 10 seconds to try and at least make this guy stand. I'm not sure how far I can get before... And there's the timer. Let's see what this turned out like. I don't think it's that great, but we'll find out. First thing I decided to do was change up the background, so I went ahead and added these swampy grassy floors. Best thing is I could import an already pre-made rain animation and just slap it on there. I also gave the character a nice highlight at the edges just so he stands out a bit more from the background, and a shadow underneath just for some extra detail. After I settled on a theme I like, I copied and pasted the same character and started actually animating. One of the best things about this time frame is that it allowed me to actually ease properly and add those really important micro movements I obviously couldn't add in the previous time frames. I won't lie, I still wasn't exactly sure how I was gonna animate this, so I went for the classic wind-up punch that a lot of cartoons do. Then I realized I had forgotten to animate the shadow underneath, so I had to go back and adjust that for every frame, which took a chunk of my time. Now, for the part that he gets hit, I wanted to actually animate the second character getting hit twice and move in an arcade-style manner like Street Fighter, but by now I thought I didn't really have much time left, so I scrapped that idea and instead animated him falling like a regular character. By this time, I had about 13 minutes left and I was already kind of done, but 13 minutes is 13 minutes, so I decided to give the character's arm go longer right before the punch. Alright, so the first couple of hours was me looking online for references and ideas. I went for a sunsetty type of background where there'd be a main light casting overhead, aka the sun. I also added some shadows to the buildings because, light creates shadows. Now I wanted to do something where there'd be one tiny character super punching the living daylights out of a giant character. And as you can see, I was already working on that. I spent so much time trying to figure out how exactly I wanted this to look, and that made me run into a lot of issues. I also slapped on some extra light reflections just to add to the atmosphere. Trying to squeeze the giant in was incredibly annoying because I had to break up segments, rejoin them together, and then animate that. And have you tried animating on Christmas Day? It's super busy. Eventually, I scrapped the giant idea entirely. I was already about halfway through the clock by this point. So, with the little time on my hands, Skillshare came in to save the day. Wait, you don't know what Skillshare is? Really? Alright, stay with me here. If you live under a rock, Skillshare is basically an online learning community where you can explore thousands of classes across so many topics, including, of course, animation. This month, Skillshare is all about reflection. December is a time to look back at the year, the goals you've accomplished, the challenges you've overcome, and the creative energy you've discovered. It's also the perfect opportunity to think ahead into 2025. What do you want to learn? What skills do you want to sharpen or discover? Skillshare has classes that can help you turn this reflection into action. For example, before I took on this challenge, I hadn't animated for like a month, so it's safe to say I was incredibly out of touch. I took a couple personalized lessons on Skillshare and boom, just like that, I was back in my bag, ready to make this video for you guys. And with the holiday season in full swing, the first 500 people to use my link in the description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So whether you're reflecting on your progress or setting goals for the year ahead, let Skillshare be a part of your journey. And a massive thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Thanks to Skillshare, I was able to confidently decide I wanted to animate a very fluid punch instead.